Alrighty, here we go. We're back, Johnny.
We are back. Podcast, season 5, episode 2.
Coming to you from lane number 3. We're back in the lane, Johnny. How's it feel?
It feels great. It feels great. I'm not gonna lie.
Coming from right, this is usually forbidden, this area, but today we're coming here right from the heart of the bullseye, channeling all that energy into our little podcast. I like it. It's good. I think this is where we've almost recorded our first ever video blog in the lane, so we're going back to our roots.
Back to the roots, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's get on with it.
Yeah, sure. So, another exciting week in the league, week 2 in the month. We're seeing a lot of growth with our new faces. We're seeing some improvements.
Very much so.
Did you want to start on your end of things?
Yeah, well, I think for me, I scored a lot of matches down on that little end there, and I tell you what, we had some crackers. There was, I think, I've never quite seen a match like it. I jumped right into it. It was Daryl and Alana. So they were throwing it. It was tied up, and then Daryl threw hers, and it was just in, and it was literally wobbling, and that would have taken the game. Otherwise, Alana was in the box seat to win the game. And Daryl's face, she wasn't quite sure. Can she go for it? Does she have to wait? Does she have to? And she, little by little, it was inching out closer and closer, and then it did fall, which meant Alana took the win, which was probably it was pretty exciting. Haven't quite seen that before.
Well, yeah, like on that note, something very similar happened between a pair of our veterans as well. Blair and Nora had a match, and it was, I forget which round it was, but Blair was in the lead, threw her bullseye, but you can see that it's wobbling, and she wanted to go get it, but Nora was taking her time, and then finally Nora steps up and just throws it as hard as she possibly can, hits the clutch, and then Blair's axe falls off, and that made the difference in that round. And Blair was steaming.
Yeah, as you would be.
Yeah, because she looked at me. She's like, I need to get it, and she could. So good, some little gamesmanship from Nora, nice. Some strategy.
Yeah,
but that was good. Yeah.
Well done, Nora.
Yeah.
Nora's doing really well, honestly, this season, and she was the first one here on Tuesday, getting the throws in, and as you mentioned, a veteran of our league now, but. She's already thrown a 75 this season. She's really taken her game to the next level this season. So I can't wait to see how that all pans out.
Okay, she's going to do some damage come playoff time. I'm putting that one on the board for sure.
So I think it's going to come down to the big axe. I know it's something she's working on as well.
That is, and we'll put more time into that as we get down the stretch.
For sure.
I wanted to give a shout out to Fede. I know we kind of took a minute and mentioned it during the league, but people might have been gone by then. But Fede's been throwing for about a month. One of our new coaches. He's in the staff league, and he was on that last clutch for the 81. He's right there, and it's that hardest shot. It's nervy, and he didn't hit the clutch, but I've never been that close to an 81 myself, and I've been throwing a lot longer. He was right there.
And his entire game, it wasn't just. Like the bullseyes weren't just like half in, half out. They were like clean.
He was
Novi bullseyes.
So just tip of the hat there to Fede. That was a great.
Right on, Fed.
That was a great round.
If he's going to be away next week, but he's going to be back.
He'll come back strong from that one. Yeah.
He's going to be thinking about that all the way when he's down he's down somewhere in South America.
Yeah, he's on a little trip.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he snuck an axe down there to practice. Or
or maybe he's setting something up. Kevin has started with like a house on fire so far this season, and he had a match right here where we sit right now against his good friend, the Dynasty.
I specifically moved that match forward just so they could have a nice early showdown. I was like, you guys are hitting it off today. I want to see a big one, and they did not disappoint.
Boy, did they deliver. It came down to the final axe. Kevin needed to hit the clutch
in round 3
to force a tie and big axe, and he stepped right up and took his time,
cool as ice,
and just smoked it, split it in half.
And then we saw quite a battle with the big axe there too. So
Definitely some great throwing, and Kevin's still new to throwing the big axe as well, so really good for him to get that early practice in
against someone that we know can go the distance in a big axe.
Exactly.
So that was one of the better games I've seen so far. That was really entertaining.
That was awesome.
Speaking of entertaining games, The first game of the night that I scored, we had two of our rookies, Michelle and David, and I saw something I've never quite seen before. Round one was still tied on the fifth axe.
Yeah.
The score,
Yeah.
0-0 still.
Some tough boards out
Some
there.
tough boards.
Some
They were fresh.
boards.
I think David was getting. I hyped him up a bit last week. I think he got into his head a little bit. And Michelle hits a 1, and David drops his axe, and so she takes the first round 1-0, which I've never seen.
Yeah.
And then
Well done, Michelle.
great work, Michelle. And then in round 3,
Doesn't matter how you win.
yeah, round 3. We were in the same exact
Same
position, still
Deja
0-0.
vu.
But the tables were reversed, and David got that crucial 1
Yeah.
to take. But yeah, no, that was. I enjoyed scoring that game. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah. And great attitude, great spirit.
Yeah, no, everyone
between
was
them.
in good spirits. It was just something we know that all of us each game want to make improvements and learn from the game before. So that's
for sure.
Yeah.
And both of them were working pretty hard on it as well, I think.
And I think there was a few where David threw it and then turned around and looked at me. He's like, "Wow, what happened? What happened on that one?" I mean,
Yeah.
we're always
Yeah.
going to keep looking for the little tweaks that we can
Yeah,
always
for
make.
sure.
So.
But then he turned around. He hit a couple of clutches. In
Oh
the
yeah,
center
no, that was the first game. He had the yips of it. He said so himself. So yeah, it's all good.
There's something to be said about that first game of the night. I'd love to see everyone's stats in comparison.
Oh man.
No, it is good.
Yeah.
So, well done. Yeah, we had Jake.
Yeah, Jake finally returns to action. I was happy to see him, and he had some big games. I was looking through the stats. I didn't see this one live, but I noticed an absolute barn burner between Harsh and Jake that went to about 7 big axe throws before we had a
I
winner.
think we've ever seen 7 straight off the bat, especially from a first rookie like Harsh. He hasn't thrown lots of big axes, but you know.
So so it's always great when Jake's here. Great,
Yeah.
And
an absolute OG.
and the OG of the league.
One of the very first people to throw an axe in this building, Jake.
So it's always nice when he's here. Hopefully he's here for week 3.
Yeah.
Come on, Jake, the mystery man.
And he's thrown really well too.
No, yeah, he came in. He's throwing that heat that we know and love, but his accuracy has been
Controlled heat.
Controlled heat. Simmer.
Yeah. Yeah, the bird is on simmer. He's cooking some rice. He's not doing a stir fry there. He's cooking rice.
But the curry's ready.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to talk about Zach and Maggie as well.
Yeah, look, they're doing really, really well. They're putting in some time, really just understanding how it all works. And I think I threw Zach off a little bit by talking to him about putting your hips into it and sort of what that looked like.
Getting the moves.
So for me, it was probably some misconstrued information, but he kind of worked it out later in the night. And I think the message hit home to incorporate the body to sort of get that tilt in the waist. But it was pretty good to see. So
keep working on that. Yeah.
We'll keep working on that. As we know, there's lots of little layers to everyone's throw, and it's about putting that puzzle together. So, but no, good stuff. And Maggie as well, same thing. I think we'd like to see them face off in a few weeks and see where
they've come to.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. But well done, you two. Enjoying the journey so far for sure.
Nice,
yeah.
And then the team game was a lot of fun. That kind of harkens back to some of our old seasons where we like to kind of get a team game going when there's time at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good little team bonding exercise.
Absolutely.
So that was fun. Yeah.
The oldies taking on the youngies, so the 80s, pre-1991.
And experience won out on the day.
They did, yeah. We got off to a bit of a good start.
And then we slowed down a bit.
Then we slowed down a little bit, and they came home like a freight train. So, hats off to the experience. But well done.
Exactly.
It was a good game. Yeah. But yeah.
Stats off?
Are you ready?
I'm ready for the
Some
stats.
hats off. The hats have been on for too long. The stats have got to come out. Oh my goodness! Do we have the dynasty is in the house? Unexpectedly, drop it in mid-podcast. Get over here, dynasty.
Welcome to the show.
Come on, bring it in, buddy. We're live here. We're live.
Excellent.
On the air. Do you want to pull up a chair? Pull up a chair?
Okay.
Yeah, we're just about to do some stats up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you want to kick things off, Johnny?
Sure. So, wait, am I supposed to throw it at the beginning?
It's up to you, mate.
Okay.
It's up to you, depending on the
So
stat.
here, let me slide over a little
We'll
bit.
get the dynasty involved here. This is unprecedented, folks. This is unprecedented.
This is wild. This is unplanned. This is unplanned.